Welcome to episode 2 of the brand new city build. We've got highways to extend, we've got side roads to build, we've got a bridge to construct over this rather pretty little river here. Now the last bridge was a modern cable stay design. This time we're going for a rundown Roman arch styled bridge. It takes us all the way west, man, right up to the city limit. Well, it's the city limit for now, but before we can get to that, we've got some groundwork to do. We've got some hills to demolish, we've got a beacon to build, and loads of roadways to lay. So grab yourself a beverage, get comfy, get in chill mode, and let's do this thing. Now as always, we start this with a good bit of digging. And we've got our first obstacle here. It's only a small one, but we've got to delete this hill. There's a much bigger one on its way. I'm sorry, sheep. Why do I feel like I'm being judged? The only thing with survival is inventory management, right? We've got a little chest set up here. I'm such a hoarder, but you never know, man, when this soil might come in handy. So let's expand this a little. Pop the gravel in there too. And get busy here. Chop, chop, chop. Everything must go. Yeah, much better. Okay, so now the hill's out the way, let's get some actual groundwork done. Push this highway west, man. It's going to be a circular type road, right? All the way around the centre of the city, with all the side roads coming off it. We've already established the design, and it's going to be the same for the entire highway. You know, build up a vibe, a sense of familiarity for the city. The side roads though, man, they'll be different. Each district will have its own vibe, its own pavement and curb setup. You know, a big dash of vanilla, a sprinkle of mods, that's what we're going for. Definitely though, the realism, it's important. You know, I want this city to be fun as well, though, and full of unexpected things, man. Places to explore, things to discover, yeah? And there'll be no empty shell builds in this place for sure. As soon as we have a little road network, we'll start building. And they'll all be fully furnished, man, and decorated. It's a mission, I can tell you. But it's a mission I choose to accept. I have to admit though, it's all about the chill with me, yeah? There's something about building roads, man, and carving through the Minecraft landscape. I find it super relaxing, it's super satisfying. I'm sure you all relate, yeah? Even after 8 years playing, I still find this game magical, man. It has an ability like no other I've ever played to hold my attention, yeah? It always makes me want more. Now speaking of more, we need more curbs. We're going to pull this thing all the way west, yeah? Nice and simple. Now we've nailed the design. Yeah, it's getting there, it's getting there. You know, I really don't like to ignore these random ponds and things like that on the side of the road. We'll just pop some lanterns in there for now. You know, let our future selves know that we need to make something cool out of this. Again, you know, something to discover if you're exploring the city. It'll definitely be uploaded to a server at some point. Once it's got enough buildings to earn the title of a city, we'll definitely be doing that. But before we get there, there's a ton of work to do, man. Lots of hills to remove, lots of roads to lay, lots of buildings to build. I honestly hope you come along for the ride, yeah? It's going to be a long one, and I'm going to do some crazy things on this seed, I have no doubt. These roads are just a beginning for sure, yeah? Now, speaking of roads, let's city this thing up a little. We've got these barriers here off the traffic plus mod. Definitely feels like something you see on the side of the highway for me, so we're going to line this whole thing with them. Again, just thinking about the future here. You know, we'll tidy this side up a bit and no doubt do something with it in the future. You know, maybe a crossing point, maybe a cafe, maybe a small area with some benches, who knows. But all this grass behind here will be built upon. You know, maybe some streets, maybe a business park or a shopping mall. You know, we've got options. Any villages on the seed though, and there are a few, we'll keep in place, yeah? We'll upgrade, incorporate them into the city's plans. Just dig down to this river here, man. We'll pop a staircase in there at some point. Maybe build an embankment for a moonlit walk besides the river. You know, we're going to try and make this city feel connected, yeah? Fully explorable. What are you doing there, little piggy? So adorable, yeah? It's a great seed, this, man. A bit hilly, but basically even. You know, so much land in all directions, man, for expansion. And most of it's on the same level. You know, just enough so it's not boring. And we can have some interesting gradient changes. But not so many it ends up like San Francisco in this place, yeah? Now let's get some tarmac on this thing, yeah? Push it forward. Make it feel like a road. It's definitely a grind getting all this done, but it's a grind honestly I relish. You know, the black of this asphalt is so vivid against the green grass. Yeah, I love it. Boom. You know, there's a lot of this stuff to lay, and I'm not going to be using World Edit or Axiom here. We do it all block by block. You know, it's just how I personally like to build, yeah. You know, every bit of land we work on, it feels like I get to know. You know, you end up spending so much time on it, man. You know, there's a big hill back there. That has to go. But before that, man, let's get some lines down on this thing. You know, truly make it into a road. It's super chill, man. Super satisfying. It totally brings that city vibe, yeah. You know, a little bit of counting. 6 lines. A gap of 4. Lots of grinding. And we're there. Yeah. Now we do have cars modded in as well, so, you know, we'll take those for a spin at some point. They're not very Minecrafty, admittedly, but very city-ish. Now this road's almost done. We're going to need to remove that hill. There's a village behind it. It's forcing us to turn this highway south, man. And the junction will be right there, right where that hill is. You know, I definitely don't want to delete or disturb this village. You know, we adapt to design where we need to. You've got to keep the residents happy, yeah? It's also kind of a perfect point of interest, really, to have right at the corner of the junction. You know, at least until we build the industrial district up around it. Now let's just finish trimming this road up. An emergency phone, always a good idea. A bin, of course. You know, it helps bring a vibe, yeah? Make these pavements less plain, for sure. You know, as well as our classic shulker drains in there. Definitely feel like those square kind of manhole covers for me. You know, and we'll just brighten up the central reservation a bit as well. With our bushes. You know, it's the same design as up the road. But we'll change it here and there, yeah? We'll put trees in wherever we have a crossing, but for now, we'll pop these bushes in right along. Bit of mangrove, bit of cherry. Nice little combo. Yeah, so many lampposts, yeah. Again, from the Traffic Plus mod. It's the perfect vibe for me for this road. You know, brings the realism. And we'll try and do it as efficiently as we can, you know, without rushing. One by one, pop the bases in, build them up, steady as she goes, pop the lights on top. Done. Yeah, man, looking good. Well, what's this? We have a resident. Hello, horsey. You like the road? Yeah, I think he does. Now let's deal with this hill. It has to go, and we're going to chop it down block by block. So wish me luck, yeah? Because this is a mission. Oh, and subscribe if you wanna. Now let's survey the sites. Right about here is where we'll start, yeah? This whole corner I'm guessing will go. I must admit, although it's a mission, I do enjoy chopping hills away. It's almost as relaxing as building the roads themselves. You know, just make sure that we're in the right spot, yeah? Line it up with the side of the road and get chopping. Back into survival to speed this up a bit, yeah? It's super satisfying, man. Boom. You know, we'll get rid of the soil first and then we'll work on the stone. Bit more inventory management. Another little chest hoard for all our hard-earned goodies. Yeah, this tree's gonna have to go, man. Another excuse, let's be honest, to enjoy the falling trees mod. Yeah, that never gets old. Now, anybody who watched the last video knows we've already built a couple of side roads off this highway, as well as the bridge. But we're going to build another side road here too, man. This entire area will be the industrial district, and I've got some cool factories in mind to build. But we need rid of this hill, and we need to build our first corner here, with a little roundabout for this highway. So let's chop all this away and get to that. Now this is clearly too slow, right? It'll take forever like this. It's no good. There's only one thing for it, man, and that's a beacon. Now admittedly, it does feel a bit like cheating to me, building a beacon in creative, but you know, we're in creative, so let's make the most of it. It'd be silly not to, right? Boom. Yeah, now we can get cooking. Honestly though, it's pretty rare for me to make a beacon. I usually play in survival, right, and I just don't bother. You know, efficiency 5, a bit of patience is usually good enough. However, we're on a mission here, man. Oh, that's a beautiful sight here. And we want this hill gone, pronto. Oh yeah, insta-mine, now you're talking, yeah? We'll gather all our coal, gather all our stone. Really enjoyable like this, man. Yeah, this lava lake though, what to do with it, huh? I think I have an idea. Keep some of it in place, I reckon. You know, make a nice natural little bit of side of the road decoration, huh? You know, a remnant of the hill that was. Let's just block off the bit that we're going to keep from the bit that's in the way. Nice orange glass, I'm thinking, should be practically invisible, right? And we'll scoop up all this hot stuff, get an advancement, nice, there we go. Yeah, I definitely think random Minecrafty things like this, man, they're a good idea besides the realistic road, yeah? Just mix things up a little. Oh, this horse is stuck, bless him, man. Let's free this little beastie. There you go, son. Yeah, just fix all this up, yeah? We need to clear this area, man. Get it all nice and flat. Ready to receive the junction, yeah? Horsey looks happy. I'm happy. Let's push this forward. Collect all our goodies. Waste not, want not. Now I've lined this thing up already, yeah? We've got to make sure that we keep it on track. This highway is going to head far south, but that's another video for another day. We just got to make sure we put this junction in the right place. Stick some flowers down around our chests. Looking good, man. Ready for the roadway. Hello, you. Remember me? What's it like being free, yo? Would you fancy a bareback ride? No, I didn't think so, yeah. Very wise, my man. Very wise. Now, let's get this thing in motion, yeah? Bring this curb round first. I like the lava lake. It was a good call. Yeah, stick the road deck on. Nice and simple at this point. It does drop down the landscape here, so we'll need the highway's first hill. Right here. Only a single drop, mind. Nice and simple. You know, it is a highway, so there'll be no steep hills, just little ones like this. It's why we scout ahead, yeah? And we're all good for this section south, so we can crack on and finish this corner off. You know, get those central reservations in. Looking good. Now this is where the side road is going, yeah? It's heading west, right past this village. I considered taking it through the village, but I decided we'll skirt around the side, yeah? It's the city's first bendy road, so it should be fun. See how that works out. Pop some bollards in here. You know, make it feel all professional, right? More lampposts. Now this thing needs some lines, yeah, for sure. And a small roundabout, you know, to keep everything in order. It's a handy light off that too, man. It's the first corner junction of this highway, yeah, so it's a matter of figuring out really what works best. You know, we have a little play with some blocks, test out some mods. I'm thinking yellow lines on the corner. No pulling up here, man, for sure. But yeah, that works for me. You know, a few more stickers, some road decorations. Now that definitely brings a vibe there for sure, yeah. Let me know what you think, yeah? Yeah, that's working for me. And finally, it's time to start this western side road. You know, it's the first of the industrial district. So we'll come up with a brand new design, yeah? Something basic and dark, I'm thinking. You know, chop all this out so we have access. You know, it's such fun for me, this, man, working out the details, yeah? Connecting the roads. You know, bring the main curb around here. I'm thinking that'll do it. Now for this new pavement, definitely deep slate. And we haven't used the bricks yet, so we'll pop them in and see how that goes. Nice and simple design, yeah? That works for me. You know, nothing too fancy for the industrial district, man. We'll have all manner of factories and warehouses around here, so I want the place to feel somewhat grotty, yeah, and dingy for sure. It's super chill this though, building roads, man. And again, this is our first road with a curve. So just testing it out really at this stage, yeah, see how it'll go. Knock those out. Pop those in. Safety first, man. Back into survival, yeah, a bit more digging. Definitely worth it, yo. I'll just stick some curbs in here, yeah. But just like the side roads at spawn, we'll use coal for the road surface here. Just a little asphalt there to break up the connection line a little bit. But coal, yeah. And we'll push this thing west. Fully chilled grind here. I'm in my element, yeah, I won't lie. Pushing roads into new terrain, man, it's what this city's about. It bends around and it comes downhill and it seems to work. But just get more pavement in, yeah, get a feel for it. Head ever westward, yeah, towards this bridge we've got to build. And we've got to take it up that hill there and over those trees. It's quite a nice area this though, man. I got a feeling we'll probably leave this riverbank clear, yeah. Build a big factory on the other side, no doubt. But leave these villages here some decent waterfront to enjoy, I reckon. For now, man, we'll just bring this curb round. Finish this road off. We'll just have to ignore this pond, man, just plough straight through it, yeah. It's kind of perfect, because that village pathway there, it kind of connects right to the side, yeah. Loads more coal. A few asphalt steps, more curbs, and how's that look, man? It needs lines, yeah, for sure, and probably a pedestrian crossing right here, I'm thinking. Those zebra crossings, as we say in the UK, they definitely bring a vibe, yeah. They're so simple to do too. I'll just tidy these curbs up a little. Bring this smooth stone all the way around. I think that's much better, yeah. For sure. I mean, this thing's practically done now. All we have to do is just stick some quartz in and boom. A crossing, yeah? Now let's just tidy this riverbank up a little, yeah? We'll leave it hollow for now, man. I might make a little hobbit hole in there. That'd be pretty cool for sure. Now I'll flatten all this off. And we're just going to make this building here our own, man. A few little changes, yeah? They were data packed in these villages, not built by me. But this one is ours now. We've staked our claim, yeah? Right there. So I had a little go, yeah, of vanillaing in some angled lines. I have to say though, I'm not convinced. I think we can do better. I think it calls for our traffic plus mod lines, man. Yeah, for sure, yeah. What do you reckon, man? I'd say so, yeah. Now let's just bring this road through all this watery, hilly chaos here, man. Let's delete this one. And I've also noticed this village seems awfully quiet. Should we change that? Yeah, hello troublemakers. Welcome into existence. And some finishing touches up here on the road, man. Signs are a must. And some lampposts, of course. Very street-like, yeah. I've chosen the same design here, man, as the previous streets. Again, just a little commonality threading through the city here. Although we will mess about with the designs a little bit in certain areas, like the high streets and stuff. Hello, guys. 3 fishermen here. Well, that's handy, I'm sure. Should we see what they've got on offer, man? Ooh, some string. Some coal. Not bad, no? For emeralds. Good deal, man. Now we'll stick a little manhole cover in there. Then we've got a farmer. That's handy, man. Good work, bro. Good work. Now that is coming along, yeah. I can't wait to start building in this area, man. Lots of factories. And the junction's looking good. Should we finish this road up? You know, we've got a bridge to build, man. We need to get there. We've just got a little hill to climb. Now we'll just plough through all this water. Lots more coal, man. You know, you won't be short of coal in this city. If you want to go digging up the road, that is. That's for sure. Yeah. Nice, man. A bendy road. It works. That's cool. We've got a hill traversed. Yeah, it's a nice little spot this year. I can see some boardwalks and some boat moorings there for sure. You know, we'll just stick some more steps in here, get this road surface down, yeah? We're about ready to make a start on this Roman bridge. We'll start simple, yeah? Just bring the road up to the right height. Have a little look, man. Assess the scene from above, yeah? I definitely want this thing to have multiple arches, yeah? Almost like it's hopping across the rim, man, like a stone you've sent skipping. But before we do that, just fill out this road surface here, get it all proper. So we're going to have some trees, yeah, to chop down here. And I have to admit, it's always a pleasure with pandas falling trees. Yeah, man, especially that one. You know, the last of the lines here, man. I'm happy, right, with the way this road's turned out. I'm loving the realism we're getting from that. It's finally time here to break ground on this bridge. Now honestly, at this point, I don't have a full design in mind yet, just a basic idea of a broken down, well-worn Roman type bridge. You know, we'll just place some blocks, man, have a little play. I do know it's going to be mud brick, but we'll mess around with the design, yeah? Just have fun with it, man. See what develops naturally. It definitely start off here, yeah, with a single column. You know, just build up a basic vibe for this thing. And once we've got one down, it's easy enough then just to replicate that, right? Along both sides, nice and easy like. Yeah, I'm probably going to make a little rest area here, I'm thinking, you know, just some benches and other city type stuff. We'll do that later though, yeah? After getting this first column right. You know, this thing has to feel solid and strong, but also kind of decrepit, man, and centuries old. So it's going to take some tinkering to get that vibe down. You know, definitely want a bit of three-dimensionality to this thing, yeah? Some kind of decoration for sure. You know, we use some different blocks here and there, almost like it's been repaired, yeah, or changed over time, like. I'm quite liking the jungle wood, but nothing's certain yet there. You know, literally just testing things out right now, yeah. See how it all feels. Yeah, the old double hole in there. That feels a bit better. I do think it's a bit narrow, though. You know, we'll work on that. Let's just bring this thing out a bit more, though, and try a couple of different designs for the top. It's getting there. Definitely needs to be thicker, though. So let's just pop another layer of mud brick in, yeah? Make this thing feel a little bit more substantial. Yeah, that might do it. Let's have a little look and see, man. Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure this is the most efficient way to build time-wise, but I kind of like these builds to grow organically. You know, for the design almost to kind of manifest itself. I'm starting to feel it though. Yeah, we need to make this whole thing a bit wider for sure. Yeah, trim up the edges. I suspect we'll change out some of these blocks later, yeah, but just to get a feel for the size of this thing right now. That does feel better, yeah. We need to make this thing feel broken and time-worn though. It's nice and simple, yeah. Swap out a few solid blocks for steps. I'll make a little start on the arches as well, yeah. Let this thing grow out. You know, there's no rush here. We'll tidy her up a bit. And then kind of scruffy her up a bit. Just like that, yeah. Stick some vines. Some random plant life on it. Again, just trying to build up a vibe, really. Get this pillar to feel like it's been here for hundreds of years. Yeah, that dripstone definitely helps. Some glow liching, all that good stuff, yeah. Again, we just take our time here, man. Get this one pillar feeling good and old. Before moving on to the rest of the bridge, right? It'll be a lot quicker once we've got the vibe to replicate along this thing. We'll give it a bit of bulk on the edges. Yeah, I just found these pitcher plants, man, in the inventory. They're very cool. Pop a load on the side there. And those lanterns definitely bring a vibe. It's early days, but it's getting there. You just need to try a few more things out, man. It's definitely missing something. What that something is, I'm not sure yet. I mean, that is something. Yeah, I mean, all these trees, man, they're kind of in the way now. Yeah, let's tackle that. Boom. Now, let's do some work on the arch here. See if we can turn this pillar into an actual bridge. Just bring it across, right? Slow and steady. We'll change these up a bit. Go for a kind of ragged vibe up here, yeah, for sure. Get rid of some more of these trees, man. I do love watching them fall like that, yeah, it's so satisfying. But yeah, we're not going in there. Now let's have a look, see what's going on, man. Let's assess this. Let's have a little better look, have a little fly. You need some kind of railing, I'd say, yeah, for sure. There's something missing, man. It needs to feel beefier. It needs to feel a bit more damaged as well. Just have a little play around. Swap some of these blocks up. Just see what feels good, man. I definitely want to get this section fully down before we move on to the rest of the bridge. And for sure, some creepy crawlies make their home down there, yeah? Yeah, and this tower, it needs to be bigger, yeah? It needs to be beefier. A little bit fancy. Some redstone blocks will help. We'll cover them up some, for sure. Ooh, now that's nice here. Yeah, a bit more tower-like. I think something else on here, though, just to top it off, will work. Definitely brings a vibe. Does some fire. Yeah. And almost there with this. I think I'll probably take a look at some mods, yeah. See if we can bring anything new to this. The fences and trapdoors aren't really working for me here. We'll have a play, stick them there for now. Pop some trims on the edges there, really beef it up some. And a little bit of overgrowing grass, yeah. Always helps the vibe. Yeah, for sure. Now let's rubbish this thing up a little. A bit more glow liching. Yeah, feels better already, man. Handy barrel there to store our spares. And we'll widen this top half, yeah, even more. I think 3 wide is the way to go. But I do kind of like that turret style profile we're getting there. I'm like 90% happy with that. And I think we could probably pull this forward now. And then maybe take a peek at some modded blocks, yeah. Once we've got a full arch in. And then we'll see what we can do to finish the top off a bit better. But first, we've got to get these lined up, yeah. Make sure it's nice and symmetrical. Yeah, I always make mistakes when lining these things up, yo. It's a thing, I can tell you. That's looking okay though, yeah. I also like to make sure these things are fully grounded, like proper foundations. Where we can, yeah. They built things to last, did those Romans. Yeah, I mean, something's not quite right there, that one. Yeah, and we'll widen this off a bit as well, yeah. Take this one out, pop a new pillar in beside it, no bother. You've got to get the shape and size of this arch just right, yeah, before we build the second tower. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's looking good, man. Now this tower will be much more substantial than the other one, yeah, but also a lot simpler to build. The design is almost there for the bridge now, so it's full chill mode. And just build this thing up. We'll make this thing hollow too, so we can put some fun little surprises inside them, yeah. I mean, the only thinking to do here really is on the width. You know, it's got to feel kind of appropriate in relation to the arch and also the river, you know, like make it feel strong and wide enough to hold this thing up. Yeah, I definitely feel this top walking section we've got down now. You know, I just need to make some final decisions on the side trims. It's definitely missing some oomph, man, some detail. Now we'll just have another little play with some blocks, yeah, pop some random design effects in there. Some hanging fences. Definitely want a better trim on this arch here. We'll try trapdoors, but I'm not convinced. Yeah, and we'll be clad in the underside too, yeah, for sure. Probably not like that though. I don't know, maybe some granite can give us the oomph we're looking for. And it just changes it up a touch. I do quite like that. Yeah, we'll stick some more of that around for sure. Yeah, I'll try it here. And in there. Yeah, it's better, but not the pop we need, man, not yet. You know, let's just build this second tower up some more and make it a bit wider. You know, we'll pop a little central detail inside there later, yeah. I'll fill it up around the back, nice and wide. Yeah, okay man, there's the basic structure of the bridge. You know, I'm still not happy with those trapdoors and fences, needs a bit of a spruce up for sure. I quite like the dingy on the side corner, and the basic shape, yeah. That second tower could probably be higher though. But I am liking the look of it there. Let's just see what we could do about this tower. You bring it up a few blocks. Again, the turret style. Yeah, it's better, man. It feels Roman to me. Bulk the sides out a touch. We've got the basic design down now, yeah. We can kind of pull this thing across. We'll just tinker with the trimmings a little bit though. I mean, it definitely feels like something is missing. We need something else to get this thing to pop. You know, for now, let's just stick some more random plant life on this thing. You know, kind of the old broken down vibe on. You know, these dead coral, man, they definitely kind of look like some fungus or something growing on there for me. We'll pop more of those on for sure. I do like this top bit though. You know, the extra width has helped us, no doubt. Let's have a little run around this thing, yeah? We've been doing a lot of flying, man. It's time to test this thing out with our boots. See how it feels to walk along it some. It feels pretty good. It's time to move this thing forward, which means more tree chopping. Now in real life, I'd hate to chop trees down, man. It feels cruel. But in Minecraft, it's okay. Yeah, I'm happy enough, yeah, with the design that we can finally pull this road over the river, yeah. We'll stick some modded blocks on the bridge. I've spotted something cool or modern I think will add a vibe. But the rest of this bridge now can basically fly up here. It's just a matter of repeating the design. So we've already got the road up the hill now, all the way to the western limit here. I did spot a wolf running around here. Should we make a friend? Oh yeah. Hello girl. Best friends forever, huh? I think we'll call her Hilly. So before we finish the bridge, yeah, let's work on this western road edge. I do love a crossing point, and there'll be a junction right here, just like that. You know, the western road is going to straddle the very edge of the city, man. That'll be fun to build, because we've got tunnels to dig. Also a nice little rest area there. You know, a few benches, a post box, a bin, and another one here at the base of the bridge. We're going to put a big house behind that fence there, yeah, for sure. Like a manor house. So there's the mod. Fancy fences it's called, man. No more Minecraft fences for this city. We've upgraded them. Doing a much better job of lining the bridge, I'd say. And under these arches, yeah, the extra oomph we needed, I think we're going to get it with this nether brick. Yeah, we'll just use it as a lining. But yeah, for sure, man. That's what was missing. We'll have a little play on these towers, yeah. I do like this nether brick. Let's just see what that does. Yeah. For sure, man. That's the design. Let me know what you think, yeah? I mean, I'm happy enough that we can start to carry this design under the bridge. You know, I feel it's as important, man, to clad the underside of these things as it is to get the more visible parts right. You know, it has to feel proper. And if you're walking under this bridge, man, or flying over it, I want it to feel complete, yeah, and legitimate. So we can bring this thing out now and over the river. It's just a matter of emulating what we've done on that first arch for this side and then on the other. And the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed as well some cracked mud bricks have appeared. They're not in the vanilla game for some reason, but Oz's cracked mud bricks data pack has fixed that for us. And I've swapped a whole load out, man, to really sell the old vibe of this bridge. Super helpful, man, super cool. But yeah, that's our bridge. She works. Now for the other side. Again, we'll start with the tower. Yeah, nice and easy now to replicate this and build it up quick. I do wish I'd tried the nether brick sooner. Yeah, it totally helps make this pop. And the fire, that's bringing an industrial vibe for sure. Now this second side now is going to be much quicker. There's going to be another crossroad right there at some point. So no towers this end. Just bring the side along. Add the trims. Pop in some arches. And what do you think? Yeah, I need to grotty it up a bit. But it's time to finish the underside, yeah? I like the look of these unlit redstone lights here, just for the pattern. Now, a whole load of nether brick and mud brick, and she's good, man. You know, we'll bring this nether brick under the arched sections, yeah? Make it feel a little more substantial. And we're on the final stretch. You know, swap a few blocks here and there. Make a few holes. Get it to look nice and old. We'll pop some random workstations in the top here. I don't know why, but why not, eh? You know, lots of plant life growing up here, yeah? So add some grass, man, growing in the corners. All that good stuff. Plenty of lichen as well, yeah? Carry the vibe right across this whole thing. I'll pop some flowers up here too, man. Get it looking nice and colourful, yeah? Plenty of flowers, man, all different kinds. Yeah, that's a nice one, yeah. But yeah, it's feeling good, man. I think it's just about there. An old Roman bridge with a modern road across it. There's a few bits to do underneath, yeah. We'll get that looking super old too. What do you think? Is that too much? Let's have a look at this from the sky. I'd love to know what you would add or take from this, yeah? Let me know in the comments for sure. I'm really happy with how that bendy road turned out. So let's take a peek at this junction as well, yeah? The city's really coming along now, man. Almost time to start building alongside these roads. I mean, this is basically a forever project in my eyes, yeah? Nice approach to the bridge here. And we're going to have a huge white mansion here on the right hand side, right on that hill where the flowers are. I'll definitely leave the riverbank fairly clear here, man. A little nature reserve, yeah, in the industrial district. It could do prettying it up a little bit though. Good use of our better lily pads mod. Very nice, man, I think. Super pretty, super calming. Yeah, I've cut some paths here as well along the river, stretching right into the village, yeah. And spawned a load of frogs in too, just liven this place up a bit. Yeah, plenty more flowers under here. I'm super happy with the vibe, yeah. Now, I don't like to leave empty buildings in this city, so I've popped some random decorations in each of these towers. Yeah, a little loo there, just in case the moment catches you, as long as you don't mind spiders, that is. And some just random bits, yeah. Don't worry, Hilly is fine, she's up the hill. This is such a random empty grave here, just to bring a bit of a spooky kind of creepy vibe there. Yeah, it can't all be too pretty, can it? And we'll definitely build a proper graveyard in this city at some point, probably over Halloween at some point, a nice big creepy one. You know, but most of these are quite nice to look at, I'd say. Just places to come, places to find and chill. Yeah, but that's kind of about it really. I hope you've enjoyed watching the vid, yeah? And if you're still here now, you're a true legend, man. And you're going to be welcome to visit the city as soon as I put it up on a server. And you can also catch me on Twitch, yeah? If you want to see some live building, I'd love to see you along there, man, for sure. But that's it. Again, yeah, thanks for watching to the end, man. Genuinely, you're awesome. And if you want to subscribe, feel free and welcome. This Mega City project is just beginning, and I'd love to have you along for the ride for sure, yeah? Stay safe out there, and stay chill.